to the Diner Podcast, where we eat our lunch for breakfast. Hello, and welcome to the Diner Podcast. I'm your host, Red Velvet. With me, as always, Uncle Lump.
Hello.
O.G.
Who do you have a mouthful of?
Rice. During the intro, I just took the whole rest of the carton. Ah!
I told you we could have just waited until you were done eating.
I'm good now.
Oh, good. I got on you to do the intro last time, then I tried to jump over top and interrupt your intro.
It's easy. It's easy to do.
I do apologize.
Yeah. So what's been going on?
Nothing. It's a cold. My brain's frozen.
Yeah, it's 9 degrees outside. Sucked.
Yeah, it is frigid. And another one of those things that like I used to have lots of insulation, so it's like bone chilling cold now, and going outside is painful.
Well, I have lots of insulation. It's still cold.
Good to know. So it does not matter either way.
It's just cold.
Did you go play in the snow at all?
Yeah, the first time it snowed, I didn't.
You haven't not been out
one day, and that's it. I don't want to go out there. And then, like today, I had all these aspirations to wake up early, and my alarm went off at 5:45. I'm like, nope, 2 hour delay. Yeah. Once again, 2 hour delays. They basically, if I know we got 2 hour delay, I'm like, my day's shot.
It really does. Like, it kind of screws up. Like, it's great because I get to sleep in, but it really kind of screws up the day, sort of, because you're like, I still want to go to the gym. I still want to get stuff done. So then I start doing these things, and then it's like, oh, hell.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what here lately I've been doing a lot of the plasma donation, and I'm like, I'll go this day. Shit, 2 hour delay. So it's like, all the way there because I got to beat 2,000 people that go in a day. And then I'm cold the rest of the day. It makes you cold.
It doesn't like sticks with you too. So we went and over to my brother's house and they were like pulling the kids on the side by side and doing all of that. So we went over there, and then I thought it was a good idea to go on it also. And
it's never good.
So it is a good idea because it's really fun, but then like my body's already sore on a day-to-day basis. So trying to like, get up after I roll through the ice really hard, or trying to like stay on the sled while going at insane speeds, it's not great.
Yeah.
So I believe I got up to, I was trying to find, I have videos of it, and I did okay with my wife that I play her aggressive wipeout. This is why you do not go sledding as adults. But I took the GoPro with me. So the first time I found a head thingy that I was like, ooh, okay, this will work, but I don't know where the bolt is. So it just kept falling off of the head when you were trying to hold it. But then I just was holding it with me, and he got me up to 23 miles an hour was my top speed before. I don't think I fell off on that one, but I did fall off on one of them and rolled through, and the ice on my body was very, very, very painful.
Yeah. Dude, after you hit 30, you don't want to do that shit anymore. You don't go roller skating. You don't go sledding. You don't do snowboarding. You don't do anything. You don't ride skateboards. You don't do any of that. You
roller skating is a good one too. That always seems like a really good idea until you get out there for a while and you fall once, and it's like, oh, I'm not equipped for this anymore.
Yeah. The last time I roller skated was probably 2000, and I'm good. I don't need to do it. I want to try rollerblades though.
Try rollerblade. We used to rollerblade all the time. I feel like whenever I'd go stay at my cousin's, we always rollerbladed around like Clay City when we were younger.
Yeah,
that was my. There was, you could go over to the school and like ride around, I guess. Roll around. I don't think it's really
skate around. Skate around.
Yeah.
Inline skates. Yeah. Were you a rollerblader or a four-wheeler, or like the four-wheel, the traditional skates?
Rollerblader in young age. As old age, not a chance. I would always go. I need as many wheels on the ground as possible to keep me from falling on my
white base.
Yeah, I feel like rollerblades now, as a kid, they look cool as shit. So I really enjoyed them, and that was like wouldn't be caught dead in roller skates kind of vibe. But then as you get older, it's like, oh no, I want as many wheels, and I need some stability. I don't want my ankles breaking either way.
No. Yeah, the rollerblades are always cool. I played a lot of street hockey by myself.
Oh yeah,
and I had the hockey nets and everything on my driveway, and I was always the Mighty Ducks. And we went undefeated. You know, one man hockey.
You never lose.
I beat the invisible team every time. I won like 72 Stanley Cups. Couldn't hang with me.
Did you always want to play hockey too? But obviously there was nowhere like around here to play. You could play floor hockey. I think it was in Terre Haute, but the only leagues you could go play like actual hockey were up in Indy.
Yeah, I was a big hockey fan as a child. Like, didn't know the rules for shit.
Same.
But the Mighty Ducks, you know, we were young kids when the Mighty Ducks was popular. So, I say everybody, probably like 3 of us wanted to go become professional hockey players. That's hard to do in Cornfield, Indiana, because there's no ice, and the ice that's out here, I wouldn't want to step on.
My favorite hockey thing to do was to turn all of the rules off on the video games, and you just run around checking the fuck out of people into the wall, and there was no, because I didn't understand what icing was, or like I would get offsides every single time, and I'm like, what is going on? And then I eventually learned the rules because I was sick of getting penalties called on me. But my favorite thing was to just turn all the rules off, and then you just run around checking the shit out of people.
So you were playing like a version of NHL Hits.
Yeah, basically. I just turned the actual game into NHL Hits, and then you just run around, because then you can turn the sliders up too, and you can turn like the hit sticks up and that stuff too. So then you just literally just run around modocking people on the ice.
There was a Sega game. It was like Mutant Hockey. I love that. Video specialists all the time. You could unalive people. Like, there were spikes on the certain spots of the wall of the, you know.
Okay.
And you could ram people into there. You could wipe out everybody except the goalie. You couldn't. He was so padded up you couldn't do it. Oh. That was always a fun game. Then there was also another game. It's called Pigskin Foot Brawl.
Oh, what was that on?
Sega.
Oh, okay. I see. I was never a Sega person.
Oh, dude. Friday nights, it was a race between me and my cousin who would go get. We only had one copy. It was a race to who was going to get Pigskin Foot Brawl. And that was the thing, is like, your quarterback was a knight, so he was armored up. But it's just backyard football. Like, there's trees, limbs, there's traps and all sorts of stuff. And then you could throw the ball back to your quarterback, because these guys just ran straight lines. That's all they could do.
Yeah.
Quarterback could move around, and he'd throw the ball, and you'd like, oh, here comes a trap, throw it back. And then you're just sitting there constantly doing that. People getting wiped out. And then if you got too big of a lead, the other team got a troll.
What did the troll do?
He was like unstoppable.
Oh.
But it was even the odds.
Have I told you about Blood Bowl?
No, what's that?
Okay, so it is an old board game that we used to play with Ed back in the day. Okay, so basically you have a like board game that's in the shape of a football field, and there were teams of like, there were humans, rats, orcs, like there are all kinds of different.
This is like 100% Uncle Ed all the way.
Oh, football, yeah, 100%. So basically what you would do was you had your team, like, but it kind of falls into the stuff you like too. So it's your football team. Well, you named them all. So you got to name your players, and then you would keep your stats. So you had like skill points or whatever. So they would progress and they would get faster, stronger, whatever. But it was like a dice style game. So it was like a chess kind of style where you set up your setup, the ball lands, but each player has a certain amount of movements, and then you roll the dice to pick up the ball, to hit, whatever. But you can like unalive them and like get them out of the game or whatever. It's like this whole big, I don't know. It was awesome. But I remember playing it as a kid on that PlayStation Plus that we just got. They redid it into a video game, and it is like exactly like the board game, but they brought it to life, basically. So I'm in the process of trying to figure it out and play it. But then I also learned that you can buy the board game and all of the teams, and I think we need to have Diner Blood Bowl nights, and we could live stream games of Blood Bowl, and I think it would get very, very entertaining, because we would all get really into our teams, and we'd be like yelling and fighting at dice games, and I think that would be hysterical.
It's like at a casino. They play, because
I may or may not have already texted Uncle Ed this idea, and he said he is in.
I'm not surprised. So it's
no, I wasn't surprised either.
No. It's a board game.
Hold on.
It's based on dice movement.
Yes, hold on. I'm going to pull up. So you can keep talking. I'm going to pull up the
Blood Bowl
game and show you. Like, we're on the internet. I don't know why I'm not just showing you the freaking pictures.
And it's called Blood Bowl.
I'm going to share my screen. It's called Blood Bowl.
Okay. Blood Bowl.
Share screen. Hold on. My computer is not cooperating. There we go. Blood Bowl search images. All right. So here's basically what it looks like.
You don't like
and you get like your little teams of these little fellers. Yeah, Ed did. Ed painted all this shit.
Oh God.
But here's like these are the video games pictures, but let's look up board game. See if we can get like actual pictures of the board. But here's all the ones you can buy for like the full sets and the team. But then this is kind of what the gameplay looked like. You're set up on like an actual board, and there's all these different, like you get like re-rolls, and you have an apothecary and cheerleaders and the fan. Like you can knock them into the fans, and the fans will tear them apart. And it was so much fun.
Oh my! I have never heard of this game.
Oh, it was so cool. I wonder, will we get in trouble if I play the video game trailer?
Probably.
Like it's just advertising for them. It's an old ass video game.
Old. It's on PS5.
Well, they remastered it. I think it was originally either PS3 or PS4 is when they came out with it. They kind of brought back like a nostalgia thing because I can't imagine it's still like.
I think if you play it with like no sound, you should be okay.
All right, let's see. Let's go to YouTube and we'll do it.
But I've never. So they're all mutants.
Yeah.
What is that?
They're different.
DirtyDickWriters.com. What the fuck are you watching on YouTube?
Don't you worry about what it is. All right. So here is the gameplay of like the board game. Oh, stupid.
That's an ad. How to play Blood Bowl.
Off. No free ads.
No free ads.
And welcome to Jam.
Oh,
oh, he's falling apart over here.
I'm losing it. All right, here we go. I got it. Don't you worry. All right. So basically, like this is kind of the style. It's like a chess style board game, but you're playing football. So you can pick up the ball, whatever. But yeah, so there's like orcs and humans and rats and all kinds. But Ed hand painted all of these little people when we played.
Oh my goodness.
But you get and then here is the video game. And they basically just remastered it to where like it's the board, but you get to like actually play it. But each person does the move, and then like when you're going up against people, you'll roll the dice to see if you can dodge them or beat the shit out of them.
Punch them in the face.
Of that nature.
So is that guy done? Is he done for the day?
So you can, on your next turn, if they're not dead, you can use that guy's turn to stand him up. So you're like rolling the dice, and you have to roll a certain number to stand him up, and that kind of stuff.
Quarterback.
Yeah, you have a thrower. Like I picked the rats. So you get like a big gigantic rat. You get a throwing rat, gutter runners, which are like your fast rats, and then you get a bunch of fat rat linemen.
Okay.
I named them the Gouda Gang.
The Gouda Gang.
Yep, I have Travis Kelcheese. I have Jason Kelcheese. I forget. I think I did Rathew Stafford was my quarterback, I believe, was what I ended up going with for that one. But yeah, it's just an old school like board game that they redid into a video game.
Interesting. I did not know, like I said, did not know about that at all.
I have not figured out how to get past the campaign and like add my team to it. It'll let me just play like random games, but I have not figured out how to like
play exhibitions.
Yeah, so I'm still trying to figure it out. We'll get there.
Yeah.
But eventually, I want to get a capture card, and I want to play Blood Bowl, or we can just play real life Blood Bowl, which I think would be hilarious both ways.
Well, I'll see if it's in the mall. There's that one store that's in the mall. It's like Dungeons and Dragons and
it's surely it's one of those, or there's another one that Footers they carry.
Oh yeah, dude, I've never been to Footers. Never been there.
A couple guys I used to work with used to always go in there, so I'd go meet them whenever.
Card players?
No, I think they just went in there and ate and hung out because it was a place that you could just go sit. They had Wi-Fi, so whenever I was a supervisor, I'd go. They would be sitting in there waiting.
Play Magic?
Yeah, basically. We just sit in there and eat and shoot the shit for a little bit.
Yeah. I've never been there. I think Ed's been there. I don't know. That was we need to get him back on here so we can talk about his vampire roleplay.
We do. We need to get that scheduled very soon. But I think we could even like try to utilize maybe the mystery lounge, and we could do like a Blood Bowl night where we live stream us playing a couple games or whatever, and kind of have like a, I don't know, diner game night to go along with it. I think that'd be fun, just because we would all get way too into a dice game of random like fake little miniature players.
I used to have fun playing Risk, and then I played my son who goes on heaters, and he's undefeated at Risk, so I don't even play him anymore.
Yeah,
I did whoop his butt in NBA 2K the other night. He goes, "I want to play you." I'm like, why? He goes, "I just want to play." He goes, "I think I can take you." Okay, I beat him by like 25 or something, and I go, "Sorry, man." Like we didn't talk. I go, "Oh, you think you can take me?" Like this word.
I love that it got that real, that it was just like, nope, all right, it's a serious.
Well, I go, "Who are you going to be?" He's like, OKC. I'm like, they suck. Why do you want to be at Oklahoma City? He's like, well, he likes Shea Gilgeous-Alexander or whatever. And that's his guy. And he was 150 shots with him. Like, I'm going to be the Suns. And I got Devin Booker, KD, Eric Gordon off the bench.
Oh, you were stacked.
Dude, because they used to have Bull on the team. But I think they updated the rosters. He got traded because I was pissed. I went there to go get Bull. He's gone.
You were going to go on a run again. You like pissing people off with Bull.
I love Bull, but I don't know where he's at, and I didn't want to look for him. So I was like, I go, who's comparable? I'm like, Suns. I usually play with the Suns for some reason, but I don't know. But you know what I did last night for 2 hours?
What?
I got on TikTok because we got 4 days left of TikTok.
So are you positive that's happening?
I'm just being prepared.
Fair point. So before we get off of, I'm glad that worked out with your son. Like you beat the shit out of him. I sent you a picture the other night that we have not talked about. That I did the same thing with my kid in college football.
Oh yeah.
Really overestimated my abilities in this game.
Yeah.
So he asked if we could play a game, and I was like, okay, yeah, like. He doesn't play very often. I've been playing the same thing you've been playing. I've trying to dabble in it a little bit. And so I've been playing quite a bit. And I'm like, all right, well, I want to make it fun for him. So I went with Rice, which is the team that I was trying to build, but before I built them. So they're awful. And I went with I think is All-American the next level up.
There's freshman, varsity, All-American, Heisman.
Okay. So he was varsity. I was All-American, and he went with Clemson. And I knew after the first 2 drives that this was not good because it drastically either slows my already bad children down and speeds his already superhuman children up. And I could not move the ball, and I could not stop them. Like he could do anything he wanted, and it was maddening for the first about quarter and a half, and then I just kind of like I quit. I wasn't not trying anymore, but I quit letting.
You went to game management.
Yeah, basically, yes. I was like really trying to like move down the field and do things, and then it got to the point where I was like, "Oh, this is like this is I just can't do anything." And end result was 115-0, and I got absolutely curb stomped by a 12-year-old.
How many receptions did you throw?
Oh, 6 to 8 at minimum. Like. Yeah. I think I probably threw 6 of his touchdowns, if I had to guess.
6 of his, like, 12?
Yeah. Oh, and he was just talking shit left and right.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm just sitting there like, oh, this sucks so bad. But, like, what do? Like, you gotta give him his flowers, and you know what?
Anna did that. So when we first got the game, I was Ohio State, and I played All-American, and I put her on, I think, freshman. And she was Penn State, and I was Ohio State, dude. I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
And I bet she beat me probably 10 games. Never like started talking trash. She goes start talking trash. So okay, we'll play again. I left the difficulties the same, but I clicked the button to make them even teams.
Yeah.
And I monkey stomped her. She rage quit. I go, no. You talked all this trash to me. I'm sitting here taking it. And then you start talking trash. No, we're going on now.
Yeah,
So,
I'm excited to play him like straight up and see. I mean, based off the 115-0 curb stomping I took, I'm fairly positive he'll still beat me. But it was, and then I had like Vietnam flashbacks with my quarterback because I forgot how bad he was. So my first couple passes weren't even in the vicinity. Got picked, taken to the house, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot how much I hated you.
absolutely. The last Kai refuses to play any football game against me, and that's fine. This was probably about 10 years ago. We were playing 14, and I was like doing everything I could to like let him win. I mean, we went into like 4 overtimes. It's all he does. He just picked Hail Mary the whole time, and I'm like,
yep.
So we end up in like the 3rd or 4th overtime. I'm like, I just by this time I just want to get over. I just want the game to end.
Yeah.
So I just throw a duck, and I'm like, he's gonna pick it, just pick it and fall down, and you win the game. Like, win the game. And because I think he was up 1 or something, he ended up getting the pick, runs out of the end zone, goes back and gets tackled in the end zone. Say, I win the game. I'm like,
that is worst case scenario in that situation.
I said, dude, how? I said, I'm setting you up. How are you doing this?
That it's always the worst too, because then they get mad at you, and it's like, well, but like, and you can't go, dude. I tried everything to let you win.
Clicking, like, I was like spam clicking on every guy so they wouldn't touch him, and he runs out.
Because you don't want to necessarily let them win, because obviously that's like
they gotta earn it.
You can sometimes, but if you do it too much, then they just think that they're really good at. Then they play a real game against somebody and get stomped, and it's like, oh, okay, like. So you kind of have to like push them a little bit, but then they start beating the shit out of you. You're getting mad whenever you're trying to let them, and it's like, okay, I don't know what else you want me to do.
Yeah, you're gonna have to pick more than one play. Like,
yeah,
I've read it after the first series. I already know what you're gonna do, and I'm sitting here just.
It works one time, and then they spend the rest of the game doing the same play over and over and over again. They're like, why can't I get it to work again? It's like, because you just happened to set it up perfectly the first time on accident, and you got the safety to bite, and you bombed it. Like, it worked once, but it's not going to do that every time.
Well, then even like on 2K, when we first got 2K, the girls want to play me all the time. It's harder to throw a game than to play because they're just running. Like, I'm sitting here double tapping circle, so the guy just flops the whole time. Like, everybody, they're like, why are your guys standing up? I'm like, you're just breaking their ankles, man. And I try to keep it. I don't let them blow me out. I'm like, I try to just make it a little interesting. The one almost got me. I think I was playing Anna, and I'm like, oh god, like I just shot a BS3. It went in. I go up by 1, and I'm like, and there's like 5 seconds left in the game, and I'm like, oh my god. Somehow I finagled enough where I fell down enough times. She just shot a layup to win the game. I'm like, we're done. We're done playing for the night because I can't take it. It's just too much stress on me. And they're like, why y'all stress? I'm like, because I'm trying to let you win.
Yeah.
Make it easy.
Or they play the super high. I told you that. They play those super high intensity games. And thank God we finally finished that WWE showcase, because that was the most stressful thing. Because it's like, obviously, it's the difficulty level. You have to hit all these different, like, checkpoints, basically. So there's 16 to 18 checkpoints on most of these damn things. And you'd get down to, like, 14 or 15, and somebody would get counted out. Or they just happen to get lucky, and they'd hit a finisher out of nowhere on you and pin you. And you're like, motherfucker.
Yeah. And Kai loved playing the showcases. And I was like, that's fine. I do not want any part of that. But they got me good because they had the 3 different levels of game you could buy.
Oh yeah,
because they had the 40 years of WrestleMania. I'm like, yeah, that's the most expensive, so everything's going to be unlocked. I don't have to dick with anything, and I bought it, that version, and there's still shit that's locked. And I go,
there's a ton of shit that's locked. Like that, my faction is wild. There's like 100 my faction characters.
Yeah, I didn't know that, and I'm like, I'm not sitting here playing this game to get unlocked characters. So I already paid this extra money, so I'd have the characters, and now I don't get everybody. It just sucks.
I love that your response is, fuck playing the game.
I'm not playing that game. I wanted to do my thing, and it didn't work, and I'm like, I don't care anymore.
I don't care anymore. I spent all this money for nothing.
Yeah, well, because the 2014, WWE 14 had the 30 years of WrestleMania. You could play 30 whatever matches, and you got all these old school characters, but if you just pay like an extra $20, you got them all. And I'm like, cool. I ain't gonna do all this. They're there. So I was thinking, same mentality. There's there. No, they just got me for another $30, and I was like, fuck off.
I can tell you it takes give or take about 3 weeks to get the showcase done at the speed we did it. And there are so many times where because they're not short matches either. Like you're going through the montage of all this shit, and then you get to the end of it. Like I said, then like I think one of the hardest ones was the Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda triple threat match.
Oh, that's
because
awesome.
The triple threat matches are hard anyway, but you have to follow along and do all these checkpoints, but you're flipping back and forth between Ronda and Charlotte, and all that took me so many times.
So you can't beat up the other person too bad. You got to go slow.
You have to like methodically actually put on a match, but then at the end of it, everybody's so beat up that you're at the end, and I got tossed out of the ring, or the stamina, I rolled out of the ring. Becky, or I think it was Charlotte, picked Ronda up, hit her finisher, and pinned her, and I had to start over again, and I was at 15 of 16 or 17 of 18, whatever it was, and I'm like, oh my God, I have to do that all again.
I wish they would just make those as like options. Like you just have to win this match. Win this match.
I mean, it kind of is. Like, I suppose it is kind of just an option because if you don't want all the additional characters and stuff, but it's so frustrating because you're scrolling through there and it's like, oh, well, I kind of have to get this if I want these people. And it's always the most popular people that you get. You get a bunch of random ones paying for, like, you got more rings, I feel like, paying for the WrestleMania package than you did, like, actual superstars.
Yeah, you didn't get much.
Or costumes, I guess.
It did cover all the DLC, but once again, you get that. But
then there's even those that you still have to purchase that aren't technically in the actual pack. So then, because we just did the same thing, he had Christmas money, so he was like, "Ooh, can I spend it on the pass or whatever, where it unlocked everything?" So he did it, but then there were still whatever the 2 or 3 of them that like the Nightmare pack, I think the Wyatt pack, and something else you didn't get for. But they're still on there.
I tried the My Faction thing. Like I legitimately tried it, and I was like,
I don't understand it.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't want to do it. And it's just like, but I'm also, but then on the other side, I'll go play NBA. I will not pay any money. Like I'm grinding it out because I'm like, I'm doing my guy. I'm going to do this the hard way. But then wrestling, I'm like, just take it.
Well, they've all taken that Fortnite approach where they see that you give the game out for free and you get people with the in-game purchases, and then hence the $30 skins and all the crazy accessories and stupid shit that goes along with it. And it's like, it's such brilliant marketing. Like you can't even be mad at them. Like you just have to applaud what they're doing because they release new ones on whatever, a daily basis, weekly basis. I think it's daily at this point. Like it really is. I think it's daily they do it. And like you have these kids essentially addicted to it, and I'm sure some adults are addicted to it.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they're badass looking. Like if it's a game that you're interested in, and then like same thing with what we're talking about with the wrestling thing. Like if they were to release this pack of all these old school wrestlers that were like, oh my God, this is like the perfect pack. Like you're going to go spend the money and do it because it's fun and it adds to your game. So I totally understand, but they've figured out that method to just keep that damn thing rolling, and you gave them out. Like it's like giving them crack for free the first time. You get them hooked a little bit, and then you break them back.
It's like Grand Theft Auto Online. I mean, they've really milked that for all it's worth. It's been 12 years.
How does the online work? Because I just told you on that PlayStation Plus, Grand Theft Auto was on there, so we got on and I started playing it, which cannot play around the kids. Holy shit. That one is aggressive. I forgot how aggressive that thing was, but we started.
Did you get to the part where Trevor was having relations in his trailer watching the news?
No, I literally just did a mission with the paparazzi where I was filming some lady having relations in the backyard of this place, and then we had to film her while she was chasing us. That was the mission I just completed. I was like, this is wild.
That's a game I had to play late at night when the kids were in bed.
Yeah, or kids are at school and it's like, we've got nothing to do for the next hour. Let's play some Grand Theft Auto.
GTA Online I played once or twice, and I never got real into it. Like it was fun, it was cool, but it was just one of those things. I'm like, because by that time you can free roam, but it was almost like that Call of Duty thing where if you didn't get it right when it came out, you were already behind the 8 ball. Yeah. Well, I bought the game in 2016, so I was already 3 years behind the 8 ball.
Yep.
I was like, I'm just gonna stay in. Plus, I still have to play the game.
In that game, that might be the key. Go find an 8-ball. Maybe you can sell it, and then you can start your business empire.
I think that is one of the missions, but I think you have to buy like more DLCs to do more because there's missions you can do online, and but I think more
and
money.
That's the Fortnite model, like you just said, the Call of Duty model. Like they've all realized that. I'm surprised they haven't started either lowering the price of the games or changing, but people are going to pay the money regardless. So why lower it? But
get them on the front end. Model,
I mean,
get them on the front end and all the way.
Oh yeah. Well, think about just the amount of money that Fortnite's generated. Like, I mean, just think about your household. Think about how many skins that are on that thing. And it's like you start adding up the money and it's like, holy shit, we've spent like $10,000 on Fortnite. This is wild.
I remember one year Kai got like, he got $150 in birthday money or something. He spent $120 on Fortnite. And I go, you're done. I said, you're done. Give me the rest of that money. It's going away.
See, my kid thinks I'm crazy because I do that, where I'm just like, he'll ask and like, oh, it's his money. So like I said, the WWE thing, and then it's like, all right, if you want to buy, a couple thousand V-Bucks and have some fun, awesome. But then it's like, all right, man, I'm gonna spend another $50 and get some more V-Bucks. And I'm like, no, you're not. Like we're good. I think you've bought enough characters.
It's been 20 minutes.
Yeah, like how do you play with one? You have 17,000 of these things. Like I think we're good. We could probably just utilize the ones we have.
Does he ever go back to like the old skins that he uses, or is it just like
sometimes? But I think it's more of like a collection thing. And I would venture to guess that's what it is for most of them, is like you're just collecting these, and you kind of keep this collection of these cool relics that you can play with whenever you want. And then some of them end up being rare, and then they come back, and some of them are like, they're like, oh, they're worth money. I'm like, how are they worth money? Like, can you like send them to people and they can pay you for them, or like how does this work? It doesn't make any sense to me.
And that's don't.
We're old.
Yeah, well, and that's what I haven't even played the Fortnite. We play every now and then, but now they got the OG thing where you got to build and all. I don't like that.
Yeah, I hate
the building. Good. That's a waste of my time because I suck anyway. Because I don't know what button to push to build. I don't know how to flip back and forth between my guns and stuff. So I'm like, I'll just watch.
Yeah. Well, I think too, as we get older, like the hand-eye coordination, I like still playing because I feel like it helps with my hand-eye coordination a little bit, and I like to like push my brain. But there are times where I start getting like really frustrated because I just can't do it, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, why can I not figure this out?
Yeah, it can happen. I stick to the games I like, and then if there's one that's because I think there's a new Mafia game getting ready to come out, and I'm like, I'm ready. I want to play. Yeah. I was a big Mafia guy myself, not like I wasn't in the mob, but big fan of the mob growing up.
Well, you kind of were. You were in the Mexican mob for a little bit.
I was in the Mexican Mafia when I was 19. I was an honorary Mexican. I'm still an honorary Mexican. Married my wife.
You kind of had that theme your whole life.
I like Mexicans. Hey man.
What is red velvet in Spanish?
Let me pull up the translate.
I was going to say, where is Grok or translator? I would like to know what this is. We may have a new nickname for you. This is going to be your like wrestling alter ego.
Spanish. I've been doing a lot of Mandarin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why
they take over.
No, in case this TikTok ban actually happens.
What are you gonna just motherfuck them in their own language?
No, I'm gonna. Oh, let's see, English. No, because that's what I was getting ready to say. I went through last night and I pulled all of my Tercipelo Rojo. That is a mouthful to say.
Tercipio Rojo?
Tercipelo, or the L. Is it L silent in Spanish?
I don't know. L.
Tercipelo Rojo. Rojo. Anyway, but I went through last night. I spent a good 2 hours saving all the old videos that I liked. I bet I had 5,000 videos, and that's not even a fraction of what these bigger people do. But I was like, you know what? Just in case, I've got it. They're all on my phone. I drove my wife crazy because I'm like a child. I'm like, hey, look what I did. Look at that video. What do you think of that one? What do you think of that one? Like, stop.
That sounds about right.
I I was also seeing what the other big TikTokers did, and they said, well, if this goes under, they've already signed up for Red Note, which Red Note is full-fledged China, baby. Full-fledged TikTok. And guess what? I'm on there now, too.
Chinese food sounds really good.
Yeah, well, as soon as I made my account, I put a couple videos on there because we're TikTok refugees now.
Yep.
And I had an account reach out that says, hey, I'm your Chinese spy. Nice to meet you. And
oh, that's so sweet. At least they let you know beforehand.
I had to use my translate app to see what they said. I've now converted most of it to English so I can read it. But yes, I am on Red Note now.
So does that mean drones are going to start showing up around us now too? Because you have now set this up. So you have become do you get your own drone or spy balloon that flies over your house too?
I mean, that's what everybody's they're watching you. I'm like, they're not going to be watching very long because I'm usually sitting in my underwear doing something or I'm naked. Hold on. That's what
they're watching. We're on the fucking internet all the time anyway. They're always watching us.
That's what they're the Chinese are watching you. You know what? So. The American government's watching us. Probably if you got a goddamn smartphone, you got a webcam,
they're always watching. Yeah,
any kind of security camera, they're watching you.
Yeah, if you have any sort of electronics in your house and you don't think they can hear everything you're doing, I just assume that's everything can hear me at this point. The amount of shit you see going on in the world. That's literally why the old here. We'll do a little quick teaser for anybody who actually watches the thing. But we're gonna throw a little teaser up here of the old Diner News Network that will be. But there's so much just wild shit going on at any given moment that you read all this stuff and all the technology they have and what's going on and what they're doing. And it's if they need something or they want to know where you're at or what you're doing, and if they have an interest in it, they're going to find you. It doesn't really matter. So you might as well just do your thing and enjoy your life and just assume everyone's watching you. Exactly. Just put on the best show you can. We're in a big movie and you get to be your own star. So put on your own show.
Well, that's the thing, man. I'm on Lemonade too. Lemonade, I've almost got 1,000 followers.
Look at you.
Yeah. I'm the biggest hit in China. That's what. So I was doing some research today. And they're like, the Chinese government, it's owned overseas. Well, China does not own TikTok. Their headquarters in LA, Singapore, and the Caribbean.
Okay, I have questions.
Yeah.
Why can China not own a social media app, but they can own a fuckload of farmland all over our country next to military bases?
And that's what they're worried about. They're worried about this app.
But TikTok's the problem. But them owning all of the farmland, or not all of the farmland, but an asinine amount of farmland strategically planted at military bases seems quite fishy. But yes, let's worry about TikTok. That's the problem.
Well, they're worried about an international owner or international platform. Okay.
Right now they should be thinking about intergalactic.
There's something else. Why is this not an issue? The owner of X is South African.
Huh. Yeah, there's a lot about Elon on the internet right now that
he's at least South African. He might be interdimensional. I don't know, but once again, but also Facebook just leaked. They just Zuckerberg just announced, hey, did some bad stuff, or maybe not bad stuff, but
he was on Rogan.
He leaked it. Oh, they had a Jerry curl.
They did some bad stuff. They did everything that the quote unquote conspiracy theorists were saying they did. They go listen to the podcast. They were being reached out to by these administrations, telling them to stifle this information because they needed this stuff to go a certain way. They were changing the narrative on social media because they knew that's where people were getting their news from. They were going to Facebook saying, hey, you need to take this down. Hey, you need to promote these narratives. He admits 100% they did that. And a lot of this stuff is pretty bad. So it's amazing to me that none of these people are getting arrested. Bill Burr just went on that rant the other day about the Epstein stuff. And he was like, please explain to me why the man that was responsible for this ring of these people, the matriarch lady of this ring, both get arrested, but none of the sickos that are going over there and doing this crazy shit are getting arrested for it. Does that not tell you that this is some pretty high, powerful people that then you see the Diddy stuff happen? Weird. Where is that going? Oh, I don't know. UFOs and wildfires. And it washes it out of the media fucking immediately. And then you can't, like, the cycles that go so fast, now they're on to the next thing. Like literally every day, it's what is the flavor of today? Like it's not even the flavor of the month anymore. It's such a fast-paced thing. This shit's going in and out of the news in a day. And it's like there's like California is literally on fire. Like full-fledged on fire. People are getting their insurance claims denied. They're getting offered pennies on the dollar basically for their properties. The same thing that happened in Maui. And then you see this Diddy stuff, the Epstein stuff. It all just washes away magically. We don't get any list, and all these high profile people keep leaving or talking shit. And it's like, hey, the writing's on the wall. Like, and I hope that these things, there's a lot of speculation that we're basically living in a movie and this is all like a military operation currently, and that it's all going to be made public that they've already made arrests, they've already like done all this shit, and they're just slowly working their way out, and that we're currently living in like an acted out movie kind of thing. That is like the ever growing theory on Twitter. So it's like there's wild shit everywhere. There's UFOs, shit's on fire. There's giants. We're going to Mars. Like you literally anything you want to find out. Shit, pterodactyls might be getting ready to fly through my window. You have no fucking idea what's next.
Can I get a movie script? Because I need to know what's coming next. That'd be great.
No shit. Like,
but I'm sitting there like, but you know, the people dancing on the internet's the problem. That's the problem.
But it's like, it's wild. It's crazy that like it's flooded with that much, because you know some of this is real. Like some of this shit is going on. There is a lot of corrupt bullshit. There seemingly is these gigantic human trafficking rings that do horrible things to mostly women and children. And then you hear the stuff with Diddy, where they're blackmailing all of these artists and all these people. Well, who was he blackmailing? What did he have on them that was so bad? Why are we not getting any of this information? Clearly, that's what they were doing with the Epstein stuff too. Like Ellen DeGeneres goes to the UK, and I saw a picture yesterday that her set was essentially the building on Epstein Island with the palm trees. Like it was just a zoomed in side view of the Epstein Island thing with the palm trees, and like all the different symbolism that goes into it. There's so much out there that makes me believe that like there are a lot of fucking, which I mean there are a lot of evil fucking people in this world. But if that's what's going on, and we have these like high level people that are involved in this horrible, horrible shit to women and children, and I guess just humans in general, boy, I hope that this comes out very soon and these people are all given every last bit they deserve.
Yeah, you're exactly right. This is all true. Those sickos, they need to get what's coming to them.
Yep. And I'm just ready for it to come out. Like it's so frustrating. You see it like play out in the news, and then it just gets washed away so fast. And we've talked about this for the last little bit. Like I really don't get on it that much anymore. Like I'll get on it and check it. I mean, here and there at most once or twice a day if I'm just sitting around not doing anything, and I'll look for a few minutes to see if anything like concrete has happened, because you know once that first like real thing happens, it's going to be everywhere. So that's what I'm looking for. Like you see all the spot check stuff of this, and I've gotten to a point where if I am on there and I see something that's intriguing, I just copy it and I paste it into Grok, or I paste it into Chat GPT and go, hey, give me, based on what you're reading here, where's the truth in this, and or is this false? And it will literally tell you if it's true or false. So why would Elon Musk not implement that into Grok to where it's automatically fact checking what people are putting out? If you want to put out the best social media platform with the most honesty, you have a AI program that seemingly can fact check in real time. I know that because I've used it to do that, where I'm plugging a post into it. So if every post that goes through Twitter is essentially fact checked in real time, that you eliminate a lot of shit. And then you implement whatever, a 3-strike program where, hey, if in 30 days you have 3 false posts, like you're deactivated for, like you're on a 30-day timeout, you jackass, like quit posting bullshit. But that's like, they're able to get away with it. So then you flood with all of the worst things possible that could be happening in the world. And you get people to sit on social media and scroll and scroll and scroll. They're not looking out the window seeing that it's a beautiful sunny day, and if you walk outside and look up in the sky, oh hey, there's not drones above me. hey, nothing's on fire. Now, I'm not saying that's not happening in other places, but there are a lot of things going on in the world that are not that. So like, you don't have to necessarily sit inside and be fearful that these are going to happen. Go out and do something to help those things or whatever it is. But it's just wild that there is that much out there that is just constantly false and no one's doing anything about it on the social media site, claiming to have the utmost of like honesty and realism of what's going on, but you have your own AI platform that you could literally have fact checked your post in real time, but that's not what they're doing. And that, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's not a way that
I'm not on Twitter enough to do anything. I get on Grok every now and then.
Well, I know that I plugged in, like I read a post earlier about, I forget what it was, and it just seemed weird. So I plugged it in and was like, as people were going back and forth, this is bullshit, this is real, whatever it was. So I was like, okay. So I plugged it into Grok and I said, based on this information, what can you tell me? And can you give me a like breakdown of a percentage of truth here? And it'll tell you exactly what's going on. It'll break it down for you however you want it broken down. And then it'll give you the result of, hey, based on the given information, this is 100% accurate, or this is 100% false, or it'll give you like, if you're, plugging in a speculative type thing of like, okay, hypothetically, if this situation was going on, given this evidence, what kind of conclusion can you draw for me? And you plug in this information and it'll break it down in real time and tell you, okay, well, this is real, but this part wasn't, this part was exaggerated. And like in real time, it can tell me this. And I get so far it's been seemingly very accurate, and it has no reason to lie to you. So why would that not be implemented in these posts where you eliminate the ability for people to just spew bullshit?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know why people, I guess, clickbaits and all that.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
But if you're claiming for your platform, because I think I even our page tweeted that out at one point, because I was reading through stuff and I was like, dear Elon Musk, can we please add an edition of Grok fact checking post? Like there has to be a community note Grok integration where it's just fact checking it like in real time. And I don't see why, because if I could do it and I can plug it in there and it's giving me the information, I feel as if you can implement that into your community notes. And then, because if they're just having people fact check it currently, people can do whatever the fuck they want. Like if you have a computer program that is populated, which depending on how it's taught, which is the same reason you have to pay attention to the AI stuff. These companies are programming this stuff the way they want. So we've learned that you can't get onto Canva and get images of like AI images of actual people. Like if you try to do it, you have to go a roundabout way and you have to describe this person, get a picture of it because it blocks you. You can get on Grok and I can make, like I did yesterday with the Bob Ross and the happy little basketballs. Like you can create those in 2 seconds. Like I can create anything I want on Grok and it's not going to tell me no, or seemingly it hasn't yet.
Not yet, because I was able to make the image of Super Mario dressed as Batman eating tacos. And it was awesome. We got to shoot a half-court shot the other night. I remember in my post, a happy court shot.
Happy court shot. Sorry, I had to be an asshole and put that. It made me laugh.
I saw that probably 5 minutes after I posted it. I'm like, what? And I go, you know what? That'll probably be a talking point at some point in time. I'm just going to leave it.
Yeah.
And
from your asshole partner that saw it and immediately thought of Bob Ross. And I was like, oh, happy little basketballs.
When Toby Keith passed away, I made that tribute to him and it autocorrected. It said, rip Tony Keith.
Yeah.
And I'm leaving it. And I know how many comments I got. I'm like, who's Tony Keith?
Yeah. Well, because it's the same thing with like the first take stuff. Like the more effort you put into those things, and the more it becomes rehearsed. It becomes this like same thing. Like if we got on here and we tried to like orchestrate what we were going to talk about, it wouldn't be a real conversation. Like it's this like, oh, they planned this. They planned to talk about this. Like most of the time, nothing we do is planned. Like
no.
The only thing that I knew I wanted to talk about was the snow stuff, because I had hilarious videos of us wiping out or me going really, really fast. But like even that, like completely forgot that we even talked about that at the beginning, and we ventured off, and I didn't think about it until I just saw the videos down at the bottom. But
circle back.
Yeah.
Circle back.
that's just, I feel like that authenticity goes a long way, because I feel like that when you're watching like wrestling, especially, where if they come out and you hear like a Damian Priest promo compared to like a CM Punk or a John Cena, Damian Priest sounds like he's read that script 80,000 times and he is coming out there to give you verbatim what they wrote, and that's the only way it's going to come out. And then Cena and Punk come out, and like most of the time you're like, shit, was that supposed to happen, or are they just going off the cuff here and talking shit? But it makes you question it.
Yeah. Well, and I watched a video. I just stumbled across it. Ken Anderson, he said, when I went to TNA, he goes, the promos were different. He said, Bischoff said, he goes, I know how it is over there. He goes, dude, it was verbatim. He goes, and Vince would get mad at you if you didn't, like, if you left out and, or he goes, hey, you did. He goes, it was so scripted. They gave me bullet points, and he goes, I struggled. He goes, so I emailed Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman, like, basically wrote out his promo for him, like, this is what you need, like, got the crowns out. And he goes, he said, essentially, Paul Heyman was writing for TNA in a sense, but he goes, it's a lot different because you're going word for word. Now, I'm sure some of the high up guys, they get a little leeway, but a lot of these guys, boom, 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 boom. You got to say whatever's on the paper. And that's what I remember some podcasts, they said that, like, oh yeah, nowadays they are scripted to the max. And it's like,
and I don't like, so that's honestly, I've learned that just with what we're doing, like with the Signal 10, which you can go watch this Saturday, the 18th, and some January Justice. We do the ring announcing and commentary for those who do not know, but doing that, when we go out and do those promos at the beginning, like doing those over the course, like starting that first one, like I remember both of us were like looking at each other going, I can't believe we're getting ready to fucking do this. Like, holy shit, here we go. Like we weren't in front of a live crowd on a mic. Like we've been doing a podcast. So you're like, we're doing this. I'm sitting in the comfort of my home, or I'm sitting in your garage. Like that, that was one of our first like introductions with a live mic in front of a crowd. So it was kind of that like, whew, okay, you get that nerve, but then we went out, we got it done the first time. And then each time we've done it, we've gotten more comfy to where like those first couple, we scripted the shit out of it. Like we were like really going after it. Like, okay, let's do this, and this. And then as it's went, we kind of just like, you good? You got what you're going to say? Yeah, we're good. We got this. Like, and then we'll go out and we just kind of flow. Like we've learned that like, oh, we can just go out there and just like, we know what's going on. We just are doing our job to get the crowd engaged.
The hard part's when he's like, you got 5 minutes. Dude, I don't even have sex that long. Like, let me go out and like do this for 5 minutes.
When you hear that, normally it's with a different tone of like, you only got 5 minutes. In that world, it's you got 5 minutes, and it's like, that's a really long time. I don't know what I'm gonna say.
It's a sprint, and I always win. So I'm like, yeah, I gotta go out and like.
It's crazy though,
how much just getting in, like, okay, we're gonna take our fucking time. We're gonna milk 2 minutes walking.
Yes. And well, we've kind of learned like different things with it of like how to do it, getting our flow, getting comfortable on the mics, getting comfortable with like what our job is to start that show. Like our job there is to bring the energy. So those of you listening to this, when you come on Saturday, and I want a lot of you to come and wear diner shirts, it makes it even more fun for us. But when we get in that ring, like that's what you're going for. You just want them to like get energized, and our job is to make that start that way. So when these wrestlers come out and are doing the wild shit that they do, which is fucking amazing, like that, getting that reaction, like getting the boos for those guys who are just being those dastardly assholes, or for our jacked heroes that are coming in there, like getting those kids and those people to kind of check out of day-to-day life and just enjoy the show, and just having that, like, I don't know, that feeling of like nothing else exists for a little bit, where you can just check out of reality. Like we've talked about, there's a million crazy shit things going on in our world, but you get that couple hours to just go and be a little kid again and just sit, and like that's why I love doing commentary too, because we get to just the whole time we're checked out and we are in that world. Like that is our world for multiple hours, and like you're on from moment you get there to moment you check out. And I totally understand the like adrenaline that comes with doing that stuff. Because like doing the entrance, doing the ring announcing, doing the commentary, like you feel that, like when we get the booze, when we get the pop from whatever we're doing, like it's so fun to like, oh, they're reacting the way we want them to. This is really fun. Like and it just makes the show that much better because everyone's having a good time and enjoying it. And like we've talked about it a couple times, but Triple H made that comment. Cody Rhodes made that comment recently of like kind of opening that door a little bit of like, we're not insulting anyone's intelligence. It's a show. Like we're putting on a fun show and we're having a good time. And I think the more it gets out of that like clickbait negative bullshit that you see with all of the big ones, whether it's Bischoff or Meltzer or whatever, like they're all just negative talking shit about it. And it's like, it's meant to, like, everyone loves it. Like we talked to so many people on this podcast and it's like, were you a wrestling fan? Oh, absolutely. Like what, probably 90% of the people we've talked to at one point or another.
I'd say less than 10.
Yeah. But you get that like such a wide range because of like, it's the same feeling we had where like, it's all these larger than life characters. You get these stories, you get to like check out and have fun, and it's a blast. So if you have nothing to do on Saturday, even if you have something to do, cancel it. Come hang out with us. It's so much more fun.
Doors open at 5:30. Get your tickets. The pre-sale tickets go until today. Today is the last day, meaning Thursday, the 16th. Then they'll be you can still get them at the door. They'll be a little more expensive.
And obviously this isn't a wrestling show, so we can even go a little deeper. Like this isn't your normal, like if you went to a like independent wrestling show a few years ago, like the difference in what the professionalism and what they do, like they really like, Kyle puts so much effort into the show, into the look of it. These guys work their asses off. They put on like they really, really take pride in their work and bust their ass and put on a hell of a show. It's like, it's legitimately one of the most fun things that I feel like we do with our business.
It's fun. It is fun, but it's a good time. So once again, come out, hang out, and get at it. Yeah.
Well, do we want to hit our sponsors real quick so you're not late picking up your,
I got
your child?
Yes, let's thank our sponsors. Thank you, Pappy's Barbecue, Meat Eat Repeat.
Phenomenal steak. Holy shit.
Thank you, RJs Formalwear. They have sweet suits.
I need to go see him because my suit is destroyed.
Thank you, Wabash Valley Plumbing. They lay pipe. That's our slogan, not theirs.
I hope I don't have to see him.
Peak Performance Gym. No peak, no results.
I didn't go see them.
See who?
Well, that means I have plumbing issues.
Thank you. Stitch Brands, the embroidery stuff.
Yeah, no. If I have to call Walt, it's probably not a great scenario because that means I have a leak.
Well, I would say he's number one in the number two business, but that's slogan.
Oh my God. Can that be his new slogan for the new year? He's number one in the number two business.
No, A1 Sanitation has that slogan.
Oh, okay. Well, great job, A1 Sanitation. That is hilarious.
Yes, but with that,
maybe a sponsor of our show. Hey, can you guys sponsor us in some way, shape, or form so we can keep saying that? Because that's hilarious.
They're number one in the number two business. That's on their truck. It's on all their trucks, so you can see it everywhere you go. Funny. They got a free plug on that one. But with that, we're out of here. Keep pushing. Love you.
Love you.